Hey, this is Mrs. Tolleson. Just trying out doing some shorter review videos on like different sections of the unit instead of doing one whole unit video. So I'm just going to do this quick video on levels of organization, what they are, what the definitions are, and what's the order from simple to complex. So when we first started off this unit, we did this accessing prior knowledge where we looked at these pictures and tried to put them in order from simple to complex. And so I just had you look at the pictures and we kind of tried to put them in order. And after we had our discussion, we decided that this picture, letter E, an individual cell, represented the first level, the most simple level, because it's one individual cell. And then we looked over here at this picture, or after we looked at the other pictures and we looked at this one. And I mean, it was a little confusing because some of you weren't sure what you were looking at, but this picture is just a bunch of cells together. So that would be level number 2, okay? Then if we look at these next 3 pictures here, you have to decide which one was the next most complex after this. And we decided that this one here, which shows the stomach, is level number 3, which is an organ. Then of the remaining 2 pictures, this one here showing a bunch of organs together, an organ system, is the next most complex level. And then over here, which represents an entire organism or a person, would be the 5th level of complexity. All right, then we did our hook activity with the little snap blocks. And we just talked about how when we were kind of modeling that with that activity, that one individual block would be like one individual cell. If we had a bunch of blocks together that made one wall, and one wall would be like a tissue because it's a bunch of cells together. Then all 4 of you at your table combined your walls to make a room, and one room with 4 walls is like an organ because it's a little more complex. And each of your walls was a different color to represent that they were made, like just like an organ is made up of different tissues, your room was made up of different colored walls. Then one table group stacked their room on top of the other table group. So now we have a 2-story structure. So the 2 floors is like 2 organs working together, like an organ system. And then we had a 3rd story added. So now we have a complete entire structure, which is representative of an organism, which is several organ systems working together. So again, these are notes that you have in your notebook. If you're not, if you don't have them, you should come see me. But just a kind of brief definition of all the levels. So as we said before, when we talked about cells in the previous unit, is that the cell is the basic unit of structure and function of living things. It's what we call the building blocks of life. All living things are made up of cells. And just some examples are red blood cells. We've got nerve cells, which are also called neurons. We've got muscle cells. In the human body, there's over 200 different types of cells. These are just 3. Then the next level up from that is tissues. Tissues, by definition, are made up of similar cells that work together to perform a specific function or job. For example, cardiac cells form cardiac muscle. Nerve cells form nerve tissue. Skin cells form skin tissue. It's important that it's similar cells working together. You just can't take a bone cell and a skin cell and a blood cell and throw them together and get a tissue. That's not how it works. When you have tissues working together to perform a specific activity or job, and that's going to be more complex than the tissue level. So tissues working together form organs. We watched a brain pop video and it says about approximately 80 different organs in the human body. I mean, some we're pretty familiar with: brain, lungs, heart, stomach, kidneys. But things like your eye, your tooth, your ear, those are all organs as well because they're made up of tissues that are working together to perform a job. Organ systems, again, you'll notice that the definitions are very similar. The words just interchange a little bit. So an organ system is a group of 2 or more organs that work together to perform a specific, more complex function. And some of the examples we've talked about are the circulatory system, the nervous system, respiratory system, digestive system, skeletal system, muscular system. Each of these systems has specific jobs to do for your body, and they all work together. so that we can survive. And then an organism then, which is the most complex level of organization, is talking about the entire living being, whatever that is, that carries out all the basic life processes. It's many organ systems working together. This picture here shows a duck-billed platypus, a butterfly, a person, a whale, a dog, a cat, a sloth. All of those living things, all those organisms have different levels of organization. Not every living thing has all 5 of these levels. So we did this little graphic organizer in your notebook too to kind of show you, and you had to match the picture with the term and the definition. So from simple to complex, it's cell, then tissue, then organ system, then organism. Okay. And cells working together make up tissues, tissues working together make up organs, organs working together make up organ systems, and organ systems working together make up an organism. Just like I said a minute ago, all living things are organized into levels from simple to complex, but not all organisms have all of these levels. Okay, so again, the levels are cell, tissue, organ, organ system, organism, but not all organisms have all of those levels. So that's it for levels of organization. Feel free to come ask me any questions if you have them, and we'll continue on with body systems in another video.